Hi and welcome to another YouTube video. Today's video is a very special one because this is actually a collab with the amazing Miss Unfortunate, which I'm super excited about. And yeah, this whole thing started when I saw a builder, I think on Twitter, make a little room or array of items to get inspired by for their build. And I thought this is such a cool idea, this is such a cool approach to building, but how fun would it be to not build an inspiration room for myself, but to build one and then exchange rooms with someone else for a collab and then build a build inspired by the items they picked. And so I wrote Miss Unfortunate, and thankfully she was down for it, and I'm so thankful for this because this whole experience was so much fun. But let's get to my room. Also, this video is like separated into different segments that I have marked in the timeline below so that you can skip to the parts that interests you. But this is me creating the inspiration room for Miss Unfortunate, and she is a master at doing fantasy style builds, which I also love. And my favorite fantasy style is this high elven kind of ethereal style, and so I chose a big tree because when I think of elves, even though those aren't typically high elves, I often think of like living in trees and stuff. So I picked out a beautiful tree that is decorated, and then I filled my big room with a bunch of items. I think I put in way too many items, I'm very sorry for that, but there were so many like beautiful like white and high elven styled items, so I had to pick them and put them into the room. And I know already that Miss Unfortunate built an amazing house out of them, or I can't even call it a house, an amazing creation, piece of art, whatever. And please do me the favor and check out her video because it's simply amazing what she created with this. Okay, now I'm going to see the room that Miss Unfortunate created for me for the very first time, and I'm super excited to see it and kind of nervous for some reason. I'm very curious to see which style of items she chose and what I'm going to do with it and what kind of build. Oh, I already saw some colorfulness. Okay, I think I'll just like go floor down. That's a lot of colorfulness. Those are some cool items. And she made like rooms and stuff. I just put a bunch of items into one large room. One large room, but she actually made... This is so cool. I've never used these items, and this is going to be such a like cool challenge to use it. And this... Ooh, am I going to make like a Rockabilly style diner? This could be a cool idea. I mean, having a bedroom in a diner would be kind of weird. Maybe it's like a Rockabilly hotel. But this is so cool. This has this super cool like 70s style, I think. I'm not an expert on this style, but it looks super cool, and I think I can do something with it. But I don't think I just want to do a normal house. Like, this kitchen is so cool and inspiring that I think I want to like take this style with this red and black and this kind of like something between the 50s and the 70s, I think it is. Yeah, this is so cool. I think I'm going to make like a Rockabilly kind of hotel with this. I think this could be cool. And this Christmas tree, I've never seen this craziness. I would have never chosen these items on my own because I'm usually pretty like tame with the color scheme of my builds. I build with a lot of beiges and brown tones, but this is going to really make me build colorful, and I love it. Thank you so much, Miss Unfortunate. This is so inspiring. And there's going to be a garage for sure with these items. This is going to be so much fun. And there's platforms, so for sure I'm going to use platforms with this build. like 100%, because I think it's not only like the items that she put into the room, but also like stuff like this means that I should like use platforms in the build. I don't know if I should use these rooms exactly as they are, because they are so great and so neatly decorated. But yeah, I'll figure it out, and I can't wait to start building with these amazing items. Okay, so after I had seen Miss Unfortunate's room for me, I was full of inspiration and immediately started building. And yeah, went through with my plan to build this said Rockabilly diner. And I had this story in mind of this couple who really wanted to have a restaurant that feels like it can take you back in time. And it's not only to be a restaurant where you can get some food, but also to be an experience to be there. And then they found this abandoned gas station, which also had a building attached to it, like most gas stations have, where you can pay and stuff, like not the second floor, that one comes later, but initially it was like a gas station. And yeah, they bought it for very little money because it was very old and run down. And yeah. And then they got onto the inside and completely remodeled it to have like this large kitchen and some public toilets for the guests and stuff. And then they opened their Rockabilly diner in the current time, and people loved it, and everyone like came and wanted to experience this restaurant and diner, and yeah, people loved it. So it was a very surprising success for the owners, and so they thought they could expand and not only have this time skip or back in time experience for the diner, but they could also make a motel that has like the same premise, that it feels like a journey to a different time. And so they have later you will see they have 3 different rooms that take you into like 3 slightly different times. And I thought that was such a fun idea. And yeah, also with this lighting that you see me doing right now on the outside of the former gas station, I wanted there to be like this beam of light, but it had this curved edge, which made it pretty difficult to execute and have lighting there. So I really needed the help of the tool mod, which was super helpful and super cool to work with as always. And yeah, so this was made possible, this kind of lighting. And in general, the outside has this kind of red and white theme, which I really like. This is a kind of build like I have never ever done it before. Like, I am very uncomfortable or not in my comfort zone with building modern houses. And I'm also very much not in my comfort zone with building like public lots. And so this really was a new experience for me, but it was so much fun, and it's great to be pushed out of your comfort zone, and that is what a collab like this is there for in some regards. And now you see me building the kitchen, and actually I'm the most proud of the bar in this kitchen, because this bar is actually 2 different bars. The one is the simple red base game bar, which has these beautiful like things where you can get your drinks from. Basically, I don't know what they're called, I'm not a native speaker, but also it has the bar from, I think, like bowling night or something, that has this beautiful like black frame around it, and also a red light sticking out of it. And I thought it fit perfectly, and then I put the 2 of them together and they worked so well together. But initially the 2 like work tops, they glitched together and the light was always flickering. So with the tool mod, I lowered the bowling night bar down into the ground so that only the frame and the thing that was sticking out of the top anyways was visible. And so I created this combination bar, which I think looked pretty great. And when the kitchen was complete, we got to the seating areas, and Miss Unfortunate already gave me these beautiful benches, which worked perfectly with this style. And I mean, she probably had that in mind, so that's why they work perfectly. But yeah, I had a lot of fun using them and matching them with stairs. And I not only wanted to use these benches, but I also wanted to use this higher table from university because I thought these bar stools would look so cool with this whole style, and to have some like raised up seating areas. And I think that idea in general worked really great. I don't know if the placing of like where these high tables are makes the most sense, but I think they kind of make sense within the room, so I kept them where they are. And of course I had to add some of these music boxes who are so like known with this era and this style. And yeah, I had so much fun with this diner portion. And also, if you look at references of this style of diner, the walls are so cluttered up. Like, there is stuff on the walls like everywhere. And I was very worried how that would look if I would try to recreate it in The Sims. And I have to say, I toned it down a lot with the clutter on the walls, just to make it work in The Sims, I think. And also, I don't think we had that many items that really fit on the wall there, like style-wise. So that was another reason why I had to tone it down, because I didn't want to use the same item over and over again. And yeah, I think that worked out pretty great. And now you see me decorating the back of the build a little bit, where there is a room where they store all their food, and they also like have some cleaning items and all of that. And yeah, then there is also the stairs up and down to the bathrooms and also the garage, which I'll get to later. But first I'm furnishing the bathrooms, and it was so much fun to use the bathroom stalls from university. They don't really save space, but they add so much realism. And yeah, this is a unisex bathroom, and also I thought it was very important to have little like trash cans in every of these rooms or little bathroom stalls, because I just think that's very, very important at public bathrooms, especially if there are also women needing to go to the bathroom there. So I think this is one of the first builds in public bathrooms where I did this. Also because I basically never built public lots, but I thought that was also a nice touch of realism. And also, I discovered the love for one specific item from Snowy Escape in this build, which is these soap dispensers that you can place on the walls that are in wall decorations. And these soap dispensers are like perfect, because basically in every single of my builds before, I had to like raise up this little modern soap can that we had with the base game, and that gets very tedious after a while. And so to have this wall-mounted soap dispenser and just being able to place it is so great. I was so happy about this item and to have this item in this build. And now I get to talk a little bit about the garage, and this is an underground garage. And in my original plan there would be a drop down in the terrain, and then this garage door where you could enter the like underground garage next to the building. But this isn't possible in The Sims, which I sadly had to realize after many attempts of trying to get this underground garage to work. Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest flaws of this build, that there is an underground garage, but there's basically no way to get in there or out of there, especially not with a car. And I tried so many things to make this work. I think I had like 2.5 hours of footage, just me trying to get this underground garage to work and somehow be accessible. But then in the end I decided I will keep it, because it adds realism in some way, and also because I really like the idea of it, and it fits so well to this diner to have an underground garage for the owner and the staff. But just keep it without a way in or out, because cars aren't functional in The Sims anyways. So yeah, that was kind of like a feeling of defeat to give up on that, but it just wasn't possible. But I hope you like that underground garage anyways. Also, yeah, there will be more parking lots outside for the guests later, but this underground garage in my mind was only meant for the staff who parked on the side and for the owner in the orange van who also stores their tires there and stuff. Okay, and now we get to the hotel portion of this build, or the motel portion, because I was told this is more like a motel, but I don't actually know what the difference between a hotel and a motel is. I probably should have looked that up before I made this voiceover, but I'm sure some of you can probably tell what the difference is. But yeah, I had so much fun building this and building these 3 different suites for your Sims to stay at, and having these totally different styles. And yeah, you can enter the motel either through going through the diner and like kind of backstage, where also the toilets are. You can just go these stairs up and you enter basically the reception area, but you could also, like, from the parking lots that will come a little bit later, through the garden. It's not much of a garden, but there are 2 trees there, so you walk around the trees, and then there are some outside stairs in which you could also walk up and go to the reception, and yeah, could just stay there for a night or 2. And yeah, all of them have their separate bathrooms, because I think that's pretty necessary to rent out these rooms. And one room is for 3 Sims, so for a couple and their child, and the other 2 are for 1 to 2 people or Sims, depending on if the scooting works. And for the decoration of these rooms, I basically had to do no work. Like, Miss Unfortunate already picked such great items with so much character, and they already were so well thought out and put together. Like, they worked so well together, and I'm such a big fan of this Apple clock in this one room, and not an Apple Watch, just a clock shaped like an apple. And yeah, I love this item, and I had never used it before, and it worked so well with the other items. Yeah, I basically had to do no work. The items that Miss Unfortunate picked did the work for me, which was super nice. And also in that one room, I did a little trick that I learned from Pop Pancake, because in one of his latest builds he used this modern mirror and then slightly shifted it to the side with the tool mod, and then yeah, basically put it back against the wall. And I thought that added so much realism, and it was so like simple to do, but it's so genius to get that idea, and so I kind of sold that. But I thought that also gave that room a nice little touch. And the landscaping was basically me going through debug and searching for like items to inspire me, and yeah, I did found some. I went for more realism with this one and this outside, and I found these items to form like a power line with. I hope that's the right word. And also I didn't go as overboard with the landscaping as I usually did. I think there are only 3 trees in this build, which is very little for me. And yeah, I added them just so there was something in the background around the build, but mostly it was like a parking lot. On the one side there is a party space, so you could come there in the evening with your car and listen to some music and all of that stuff, and party along to some music, and yeah, some signs that added some light in the night, and yeah, that's basically it for the landscaping. So I hope you liked this build and enjoyed this video, and if you came from Miss Unfortunate's video and saw the room that she built for me, I hope what I built was up to the things you imagined to come out of that room. And if you watched this video first, I would be so happy if you could give Miss Unfortunate a visit and say hello for me and leave her some love in the comments. And also, you won't regret checking her out because her build is amazing and she is amazing. So that's going to be an awesome video to watch. And yeah, that's it. If you would consider subscribing, you would make me super duper happy. We'll see each other again.